everyone. We're moving right along, continuing to talk about the programmability of the Korg DW-8000. Next stop, it'll be a little bit of a quick one. We're talking about Aftertouch on this video. Yes, this synthesizer has Aftertouch. That's like the gold standard of what makes a good synthesizer, right? According to Sonic State and people like that. But anyway, yes, indeed, this synth has Aftertouch. A couple things here. Number one, as I mentioned in the first video, it does not. The key bed in the Korg DW-8000, I have to say, is not the most fantastic, and the key bed on mine, again, it's a 30-year-old instrument. Keyboard on mine, I believe, is a little worn out, like a lot of people's I've read online. So you really have to jam the keys down to make the Aftertouch respond. That's okay, because it responds via MIDI. I have a Arturia mini brute here that has a Aftertouch function, so I'm going to be triggering all of the Aftertouch with the mini brute. And in looking at the Aftertouch, the area of the controller panel we're looking at is down here, sort of in the lower right-hand corner of the panel, after T, Aftertouch. Again, just like with the delay unit in the last video, I'm going to be affecting the knobs with my control surface, which is the Korg, which is the Akai APC 40 Ableton controller, and we'll just jump into it. So you have basically three controls here, and we're looking, of course, down here. The oscillator MG, voltage control filter, voltage control amplifier. So what's going on here is that, number one, this oscillator MG, it stands for oscillator modulation generator, and if you remember from a couple videos ago, that refers to the LFO. So the higher I have this knob turned up, when I press the keys and press them down, it's going to affect how much the the LFO up here is affecting the vibrato or oscillator modulation. The higher I turn the frequency of my LFO, the faster that goes. And the harder I press my keys, as with Aftertouch, the more it goes, but the more I kind of turn down my knob, I forgot to follow my own advice there, the more I turn down my knob, the more subtle the effect is. It's just something, it's kind of a performance thing. Makes it seem a little bit more, I don't know, expressive, I guess. And of course, this oscillator MG function responds to whatever waveform the LFO's on. I will say, even at its most extreme setting, the Aftertouch is not as extreme as, say, turning up the actual oscillator modulation. I mean, slight difference, but I don't know. It's just more, I think, of a performance tool than actually making a huge change to the preset. Moving on, we've got voltage control filter, and to do that, let me turn my cutoff down a little bit. So basically here, what's going on is that, I'm actually going to turn the synth up a little bit, it's a little soft. The lower I press my keys, the more the filter opens up. And again, it's more of a kind of expressiveness performance thing. Interesting. Now, on top of that, we have, or are supposed to have, voltage-controlled amplifier knob. And I'm told in the manual for the Korg DW-8000 that when this is enacted, the harder I press the keys, the more the volume changes. But I have to say, I'm pressing keys, and really nothing's changing. Is this just a function of my MIDI setup? Do I have a bad unit? I don't know. This doesn't seem to work. So again, maybe it's just a function of the fact that it's a 30-year-old instrument, but yeah, that doesn't seem to work. If anyone here anyone watching this video has a Korg DW-8000 and it works, let me know in the comments below how you like it. But I imagine it's cool. But I'm content to use the oscillator function and the filter function. To make cool sounds and be expressive. Anyway, that's the Aftertouch function on the Korg DW-8000. Stay tuned, we only have 2 videos to go. Thanks again for watching.